Here it comes. Here it comes. What you got?
Yep.
Well, the baby carriage came from the store.
Stretching all the way from Texas to the East Coast. Flash floods down south this morning, and that possible tornado destroying buildings and cars in Maryland. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is on the scene in Salisbury for us. Good morning, Stephanie.
Robin, good morning. The intense winds caused a path of destruction here in Salisbury, blasting a hole through this building here, leaving cinder blocks and debris scattered on the ground, and the storms aren't over yet. Lightning, fires and floods. In Maryland, a possible tornado touching down.
It sounded like bulls were running across the roof.
The violent winds sending vehicles flying, damaging homes and crumbling buildings. Security footage even showing one car flipping across a parking lot. Plus, a large storm system triggering emergency flash flood warnings in Houston this morning. Torrential downpours dumping up to 6 inches of rain.
The water just submerged our car.
A similar scene in San Antonio, up to a half foot of rain falling fast. Rescue crews saving drivers trapped in rising floodwaters.
The water's just about going over the hood.
And dangerous lightning strikes sparked numerous house fires throughout Texas.
Pretty much the whole attic looked like it was on fire.
This as we see new video from the moment that EF2 tornado touched down in Tulsa.
Oh my goodness.
It was just black and everything exploded.
The family that shot this cell phone video says they didn't have time to escape the powerful twister.
They all get away from the window. Next thing you know, the tornado's down and we're underneath the debris.
Thankfully, no one was seriously injured here in Salisbury, but the mayor tells me it'll take some time for families and businesses to recover from the damage. Robin.
Thinking of everybody there, Stephanie. Thank you. And now let's go to Ginger for more on the flash flooding threat. Millions on alert, Ginger.
And more than a dozen water rescues already performed this morning in Houston. You can see some of the images coming out. New numbers now indicate more than 8 inches of rain has fallen in the last 24 hours. 6 of it came in just 6 hours, from about midnight till 6 a.m. So this is all from a stationary front, and it's still going. The flash flood warning still in place near Houston there. Mississippi back through Arkansas. That stationary front doesn't move a lot. It bubbles around, and that means you're going to see more rain. So Birmingham, Alabama, back through central Mississippi, even central Georgia.
Weather moves through Maryland, and now the National Weather Service says it was likely a tornado that struck Salisbury. WJZ has First Warning Weather coverage. Bob Turks in the First Warning Weather Center tracking the storm's path. But first, investigator Mike Helgren is in Salisbury with a look at the damage in some of the hard-hit areas.
These were incredibly powerful winds. You can see that in the building behind me that turned into a pile of rubble and metal. And we have new video to show you of cars being lifted off the ground.
Tanya's not down and back a notch.
You can see the powerful storm as it moved through Salisbury just before 2 Monday afternoon. Look closely, witnesses report a rotation. And you can hear Salisbury University's tornado warning going off. The bulk of the damage was right next to the campus.
Dude, he was in the car over there. I know. Can you imagine that?
In the storm's wake, cars were stacked like toys on top of each other at this strip mall, lifted up, some with people inside.
The wind picked up. We felt the glass shattering on the building. The awnings were almost ready to lift.
This incredible surveillance camera footage shows the moment a Ford got tossed into the air.
Look up, the trees are almost touching the ground, the wind's so strong, and all of a sudden, I was like, run to the back.
Heard what sounded like a freight train above the store, and it sounded like bulls were running across the roof. And then after that, we came outside and everything was destroyed.
At least one building collapsed. The strong winds downed trees and damaged cars and homes. But no one was injured, no one died.
It's pretty crazy. It's like a weird anomaly for sure, because there was no warning.
A tornado on Maryland's eastern shore is rare, but if confirmed, this would be the second to strike here in just 2 weeks.
And I've been here for 40 years, and you always hear about tornadoes and you wonder what it's like to experience it. And we were very fortunate in that no one got hurt and minor damage.
The National Weather Service plans to send a team here to determine if this was a tornado and how strong those winds were. In Salisbury, Mike Helgren, WJZ Eyewitness News.
And WJZ First Warning Weather coverage continues. Bob Turks in the First Warning Weather Center tracking radar and has a closer look at the storm that hit Salisbury. Bob?
Take a look at live radar. They're still getting rain across the lower eastern shore and the lower portion of the bay right now. Just southeast of Salisbury, about Snow Hill, still some shower activity along the beaches there. Nothing around much of the rest of the region. Just a few sprinkles or showers are possible. Now we look into the storm that hit the Salisbury. Take a look at the Doppler radar. Right inside that circle, if you see some different colors adjacent to each other, that shows some rotation. For just a very short time, maybe a minute or two, there was some indication that there may have been some rotation. So once again, the Weather Service will come out tomorrow and they'll look at the scene to see whether there was debris scattered in circular form. They'll be able to determine just about whether it was a tornado and how strong the winds were. Obviously, from that video, they had extremely strong winds. In fact, I've never seen cars rolled over like that, at least not in the Maryland area, not in a long, long time. So we're going to see any more storms later this week. I'll let you know in the First Warning forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.